The sword in the stone. London was bursting with people. The summons to the grand tournament had gone to each knight in England. Each day the great council met to decide on a new king, but no one could agree as to who. Each day it grew more divided. Then in a quiet churchyard, not far from where the tournament was to be held, a huge block of stone appeared one morning. No one knew how it had got there. Set in the stone was a blacksmith's anvil, and thrust deep into the anvil a great shining sword of steel. Running round the stone in letters of gold were the words, "Whoso pulleth out this sword from this stone and anvil is right wise born King of England." Word spread quickly. Every knight had a try at pulling out the sword. Hundreds, because so many had come for the tournament, but everyone failed. The sword stayed firmly in its anvil. Finally, the great council decided that since drawing the sword from the anvil was obviously impossible, it was a sign that they should not have a king at all. Eventually, the day of the tournament dawned, crisp and frosty. Arthur spent the morning helping Kay and Sir Ector. Kay was so excited he could hardly ride. Arthur watched them join the crowd of knights heading for the tournament. Later, Arthur rode slowly to the tournament ground himself. The streets were deserted now, all the shops shut up. Suddenly Kay appeared round the corner. "Arthur, where have you been? I've lost my sword. I can't fight without a sword. You will have to go back to the inn and to get another one." But their inn was shut. Now where would he find a sword? Kay had a better chance of borrowing one at the tournament ground. Arthur turned his horse again, but with the hurry to get back, and unfamiliar streets, he took a wrong turn, then another, and found himself in a quiet square, and there, in a churchyard at one end, he caught sight of a shiny new sword. "A sword," said Arthur. "I'm sure nobody would mind if I borrowed that." He grabbed the handle. The sword seemed stuck in an anvil. There was some writing on a block of stone beneath, but Arthur thought it better not to read it. Just in case, it said, the taking of the sword was not allowed. He tugged at the blade. It gave a little, and then stuck. "Oh, come on," Arthur puffed, giving another heave. And then the sword came out as gently as from a scabbard. Kay had given up hope. Arthur threw him the sword. To his surprise, Sir Ector and Kay were standing together at the edge of the lists, where the knights jousted. "What's wrong?" Arthur said. "This is not Kay's sword." "The inn was locked, Sir Ector," said Arthur. "It's the only one I could get. I'll take it back when you're finished." "Arthur," Sir Ector said, "tell me where you found this sword." "It was stuck in an anvil in a churchyard, on top of a stone. I'm sure no one saw me take it. I promise I'll take it straight back." "Merlin was right," Sir Ector said. "The time has come." While they were speaking, a steady murmur was rippling through the crowd of knights milling round them. "The sword has been taken from the stone," they were muttering. Arthur began to wish he had never seen the sword. Had he done something really wrong? "Could you find the place again?" Sir Ector asked him. Arthur nodded, and the three of them pushed through the crowd. The churchyard was deathly quiet. "This is the anvil," said Arthur. "Put the sword back," commanded Sir Ector. "I'm sorry, Sir Ector, I didn't realize." "Now pull it out." The sword slipped easily from an anvil. Sir Ector knelt on one knee and pulled Kay down with him. "My lord," he said. "My what?" said Arthur. "Why are you kneeling, Sir Ector?" "Arthur," said Sir Ector, "I am not your father. I know that, Sir Rector. You don't understand. Read the inscription, Kay. So Kay traced the lettering with his finger and out loud read, Whoso pulleth this sword from this stone and anvil is rightwise born King of England. Arthur, said Sir Rector, that's you. Your father was Uther Pendragon. You are the new king.